AITA for pouring my husband's sweet tea down the drain and marching out? AITA for pouring my husband's sweet tea down the drain and marching out? AITA for pouring my husband's sweet tea down the drain and marching out? I am not op. Original post by you, frustrated and done in art. Am I the asshole? Trigger. Controlling behavior. Less than. AITA for pouring my husband's sweet tea down the drain? February 3, 2021. Original post. I lost my part-time job due to COVID and I've basically become a little housewife. I'm fine with that, as that's always been my role in my relationship anyways. It's just less hard to keep up with now. I'm also in school for nursing, but obviously I'm doing that from home. My husband works full-time and works hard. His commute to work is very long, over an hour each way. We go running together every day. And because I know it's a lot of stress for him, we meet 20 minutes away from our home so he doesn't have to come home and drive back out. He calls me when he's 20 minutes away, and I leave. Today, I was 7 minutes late as I had to turn off all the lights and get myself together before leaving the house. When I got there, he copped a major attitude with me for being late, refused to even speak to me for being 7 minutes late. I tried to explain that I had to put my shoes on and turn out the lights, but he wouldn't talk to me. The run was very awkward, and when we got home, he said that he felt he had every right to be angry, and stomped off upstairs. I've had a lot of pent-up feelings about the fact that he has always expected me to be at his beck and call. It's like he thinks the whole world revolves around his time schedule because I lost my job. Anytime he's hungry, thirsty, he yells my name. He doesn't even serve his own plates anymore. It's like he thinks I just sit in the dark with my hands folded, waiting for him to call. At this point, I knew he was being ridiculous, and I was just so upset that I did something that may make me the asshole. When he came downstairs, I told him that he could make his own dinner, his own lunch tomorrow for work, and I looked him straight in the eye as I poured the pitcher of sweet tea I make him every week down the drain, and I said, "You can make your own sweet tea too, you ungrateful brat," and I walked out and drove to my mom's house. So, AITA for that overreaction? I was just so annoyed. Overall verdict NTA. Update 1 date. Don't know because it is on the same post. Update. I deleted my edits because I wanted to do an update, as I see a lot of kind, wonderful people so concerned about my well-being. I want to thank each and every one of you for being so supportive. I don't have any friends anymore, and all the messages and comments have made me feel like I have a support group. For now, I am staying at my parents' indefinitely. My mom is helping me write a list of all the reasons I'd want to stay, and all the reasons I'd like to leave. I have always been a very independent person, and I think I've been lying to myself about my situation for a long time. I called him to tell him I wouldn't be coming home, and he didn't really seem to care much, which did hurt a lot. Either way, I am going to get through this and I'm gonna get my degree. For those of you concerned about kids, don't worry. I have an IUD. Again, thank you all so much. Your love and support means more to me than I can express. Edit. Some user found the deleted edits. Thanks for that. Edit. I just want to say, I see all of your observations and have read through the comments. Thank you so much for the support and advice you give. It means a lot. I don't really know what to think right now, and I'm just struggling to process what some of you are saying and pointing out. If I didn't respond to your comment, I still read it and appreciate it. It's just very hard to hear that your husband may be taking advantage of you. Edit 2. For those of y'all saying I should have budgeted time, I'm confused how I'm supposed to do that when he calls me at the exact time I'm supposed to leave. It's not like he's always up at 6 p.m. It varies a lot, and he calls when he's exactly 20 minutes away. Which is how long it takes to get there. Am I supposed to just be sitting in the dark, poised like I'm Usain Bolt, so I'm ready to run out at full speed for the hour window I may be getting the call? Some interesting responses by Oop. He's 12 years older than me. Been married before to a housewife but got divorced. When we got married, he mentioned he wanted a housewife and that it was his goal for us to be stable enough to do that. So this may have been earlier than expected. But it's what he wanted anyways. I'm 19 and just figured out what I want to do. I feel like it's typical for me to not have a job when in school full-time anyways. Info. What happens if you leave the lights on? Oop response. He gets annoyed at me for wasting money. And very passive-aggressively shows me how to turn off light switches unamused. I just try to avoid the headache beforehand. Update. AITA for pouring my husband's sweet tea down the drain? February 11, 2021. Update. So, it's been a few days since my original post. Everyone was so kind, helpful and supportive. I received so many messages and I want to thank each one of you for them. They meant more to me than you know. Well, I've left my husband, and it really wasn't over this one incident, but really a build-up of many. Before I even made the post, I wasn't completely blind to what he had been doing in terms of control. As weird as it seems, sometimes I just forget I am an adult and I don't have to just, yes sir, and listen to any man that's older than me. I'm an adult now. I make my own rules. I feel sick saying this, but I realize I had been viewing him as a parental figure and not a partner. It kind of makes my stomach twist to even type that. But that is what it is. I don't really want to analyze it right now. It's too gross. I'm honestly going through a really tough grieving time right now. I feel like such a failure. What's worse is that he does not care in the least. When I called him to tell him I was leaving, he said, "Okay. Let me know when you want to grab your stuff. We can have you moved out ASAP." And that was it. That was all he said before he hung up the phone. I'm really hurting. I loved him so much. And I think part of me just wanted to see if he was willing to fight for me and apologize. He was not. So that's that. But, although I'm hurting, I feel free. My mom has welcomed me back. She's so happy I am divorcing him. I got together with my friends who he wouldn't let me see. I watched TV shows he told me were too childish. And I've been wearing ugly sweatpants and oversized t-shirts that he always said made me look like a man. So thank you, all of you. I got a wake-up call I desperately needed. I don't even want to be a housewife. I never wanted that for me. No hate on anyone who does. Honestly guys, it was hard and lonely work. I am going to get my RN. And then move on to my master's. You've all encouraged me in the best way possible. Overall verdict NTA. Reminder, I am not the original poster. When I got to the I'm 19 inches part and did the math to realize hubby is 31, I said, wait, what? Out loud. The way my jaw continually dropped during this story. I'm so glad that poor woman got out. I guess I shouldn't have been shocked at the age difference. But I was. As well as him dropping her as soon as she left after being so controlling. I hope his tea remains unsweetened. When she said she was a little housewife, I just winced. Even more when it became clear she wasn't even a housewife, but a student. And then 19? I'm so glad her mom and friends supported her. I can't imagine how relieved they must have been having seen Oop get sucked into this gross man's orbit. I hate that he's probably already found another child to marry by now. 19? He's 12 years older than me. Phew, I'm 19 inches rushed face. Wow, good for her for leaving him. Sometimes I just forget I am an adult and I don't have to just, yes sir, and listen to any man. That's older than me. That's exactly why people like her ex are going after barely legal teenage girls easier to control. 19. Already married and he's 31? Poor thing really buried the lead with that age gap. I saw the writing on the wall at, I don't have friends anymore, but I didn't see 19 coming. I am so glad she got out quick and that she has her mom to lean on. That must have been hard for mom to watch her go down that path with this 31-year-old douchebag. She's so young too. I'm glad she got away. She's got her whole life she's ahead of her. Why waste it on him? OMG, she is 19. WTF, where the heck have her parents been? A 31-year-old divorced man married a teenager. Ew. Hopefully having this experience early on and being able to get out safely will teach her an important lesson about relationships going forward. I'm so happy she's free. Missing edit can be found here. https://amethyshole/comments/lc1zmn/ida4 pouring my husband sweethead in the / He's 12 years older than me. Been married before to a housewife but got divorced. Gee, I wonder why? This is exactly why everyone distrusts relationships which have a large age gap. Thank goodness she was still independent enough to break away from him and get out of there. The way my eyebrows shot up when she mentioned she is 19. Glad she's escaped from that abusive boss and has a supportive family to go back to. Ick. Normal 30-year-old men don't pursue 18-year-old girls for marriage. He was a creep and targeted someone who had very little experience in relationships, so she wouldn't realize he was controlling and abusive until she was stuck in a marriage she thought she couldn't escape. I'm glad her mom could see what was going on and offer her an out. It's like he thinks I just sit in the dark with my hands folded, waiting for him to call. Because he does. Lots of men think women are just NPCs in their lives, existing only for them, and vacant and waiting to be interacted with. Picturing her staring him dead in the eye while pouring his sweet tea down the drain has made my week. I love it so much. Based on the sweet tea, I'm making some assumptions and saying Loop and her manchild live in the South. This was a pretty clear case of good old-fashioned grooming. But I saw this kind of master and servant mindset in too many women when I lived in Georgia. And it always made my skin crawl. I don't know if it's religion, social mores, or a combination. But it's gross that girls are still raised to have this worldview. And I love it when I see women break free of it. Yeah, it creeps up on you fast. Guys like this do think of us as little automatons who sit in the dark, waiting patiently for their word. And because of that, they also think of us as replaceable. We're not people to them. Good for her for getting out. He probably lost interest 5 seconds after the high school graduation ceremony.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.